This is Sam from Uniondale, and you're tuning into another edition of the Samianalyze show, folks. Episode 4. I was talking to a friend of mine. Shout out to B, and I realized I didn't really. Some of you may know me as Sam from Uniondale, but some of you are like, "Who's Sam from Uniondale?" Little about myself. I am from Uniondale, New York. When it comes to the sports, talk all topics. I am a former fantasy phenom for WFAN here in New York. Sports has been my passion since I was a little one, and this is this is a long time coming. A long time ago. People for a while do a YouTube channel. I'm here, folks, and we've got the NBA Finals to discuss. Game 1. Game 1 is in the books, and double trouble proves to be too much for the Heat. What happened? Let's analyze. What happened is that Denver and their dynamic duo of Nikola Jokic had, first of all, Nikola Jokic continues to be a monster. I said it on the last show. This guy could have been a 3-time MVP, but obviously they gave it to Joel Embiid. Joker, with his first finals appearance, 27 points, 10 rebounds, 14 assists. And then he had his partner in crime, his Robin, to his Batman. Jamal Murray had 26 points, 10 assists. By the way, two all-stars with 10 assists. And that proved to be way too much for Jimmy Butler. What happened to him? What happened to him? Remember Jimmy Butler? He was playing like Mike. He must have been hearing Mike in his head. Back in my childhood, the Gatorade commercial, like Mike. He's trying to be like Mike. Yeah, he really hasn't been him. Since I guess people realized how much Jimmy Buckets has been going in. I mean, and look, listen, I thought Jimmy was going to have a great game. Didn't he have the first 5 points? And Jimmy finished with 13 points, a minus 17. No bueno. That is not going to work. If Miami is to have a chance, no, that is not going to happen. Now, I will tell you what did happen. Bam Adebayo, 26 points, and he did that off 25 shots, the most in his career. Now, look, listen, I did say before, I've said it before, Coach Spoelstra, when you look at it, everybody's been saying this guy's a great coach, and he is. But Mike Malone is not to be outdone. Mike Malone, listen, what I saw yesterday, I feel this was by design. And look, listen, Denver, for the most part, they have been the best team in these playoffs. And, something that stood out was that Mike Malone's pregame speech or even his postgame interview, he challenged his players and said, hey, this is a Miami Heat's team that basically is not to be taken lightly. And they have gone in on every single series and taking teams' hearts. They've taken the game 1, whether it was game 1 against Milwaukee, game 1 against the Knicks, all on the road, mind you, and game 1 against the Celtics. So with all of that said, they sent a message and they told Miami, look, listen, you're going to have to be on your toes. You're going to have to be on the ball. And for Miami Heat, for you Miami Heat fans, as I said, I picked Denver to win this bad boy in 6. And watching that game, woo. Am I thinking about walking it back? I did. But certain things did stand out. First things first, 2 free throws? 2 free throws by the Miami Heat. That is not good. And I anticipate and I expect Miami to be better. It has to start with Jimmy Butler. He's got to become him again, Jimmy Butler, because for Miami to have a chance, they've got to attack the basket. Bam Adebayo, again, by design, they let him cook and they took everyone else out, supposedly. Now, let's take a look here. When I look at this game, something that stood out was Caleb Martin channeling his inner, and I love this, former Knick. He was my first interview ever, and that was John Starks. And Caleb Martin channeled his inner John Starks. He was 1 for 7, and he did not shoot the ball well. Only 3 points. And listen, you look at Miami as a whole, they did struggle. But the thing that stood out to me for Miami to have a chance, something that was glaring was that Denver looked like the bigger team. They beat them up. Whether it's Michael Porter Jr., whether it's the Joker, they beat them up. They did. And of course, Gordon had 16 points. Porter had 14. And I think, and then you look, Michael Porter as well. He had a triple-double also. That's what I thought. It was insane. And I'll tell you, I think Denver has just more weapons. But then, a saving grace for Miami. If you're a Miami Heat fan, I'll tell you what, they outplayed, I guess you want to say, score-wise. They put up 30 versus Denver's 20, and obviously it was a closer game than we thought it would be. At certain points, look, listen, the way Denver was playing, it could have been a 30-point game. And if you are a Heat fan, they may have figured something out. So we're going to see, did they figure something out? We are going to see what happens on Sunday. But, man, listen, the dynamic duo, they are not messing around. So we're going to see what happens. No, I'm not walking back my Denver in 6. This can go either way. But I'm not going to disrespect the Heat. I expect the Heat to come out and play better. One thing that they need to do is that small backcourt of Butler, Martin, and Vincent. Well, no, the small team, period. They had Vincent, Strauss, and versus that big lineup. One thing that I think Miami will do is play K-Love. Kevin Love has championship experience. He's a champion. He's played in these in the playoffs, and I think he can help. I think you can put him. You can maybe put him a little bit on Joker. Maybe help to stretch the floor. But I anticipate Spoelstra to make the necessary changes. That's what I expect. So we're going to see what happens. 2 free throws. I expect Miami to be better than that. But Miami is going to have to find a way. And I don't know who's going to be able to stop Joker and Murray, but they have to find a way to improve on the defensive end and hit some of their open shots. And this will be a series. But, I almost came back and said, woo, after that game, maybe it's a sweep. But no, I'm not going to disrespect Miami like that. Now, I did also... the coaching vacancies in the NBA, folks. Before the playoffs started, when the season ended, we had about 5 or 6 vacancies. They're all filled up, it seems, except the Raptors. The Raptors firing of Nick Nurse made 0 sense to me. Right now, you've got Frank Vogel, who Lakers look out. They let him go. And he took them to a 2020 championship. He's ironing out a 5-year deal. Monty Williams went from the Suns to the Pistons. Bucks giving Adrian Griffin an opportunity. Nick Nurse from the Raptors to the Sixers. And the Rockets have Ime Udoka. What do the Raptors do, though? I never understood that, and I guess there was an issue from what was being reported with the players and the coach. I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see. I mean, is that where Doc Rivers ends up, or maybe a D'Antoni, maybe Mark Jackson, Van Gundy? I mean, there's one more opening left. So, and we all know Spoelstra's not going anywhere. Mike Malone's not going anywhere. So stay tuned on that. We're going to see what happens with the Raptors. I think the Raptors will likely go with maybe a new candidate, somebody unexpected. I mean, I can see possibly Doc, but I don't know. I don't know what Masai Ujiri is thinking up there with the Raptors, but stay tuned. We are going to see what happens. Thank you very much for tuning in, folks. I do appreciate all the support. Please like, please subscribe. I'm on all most social media platforms at Samianalyze. Have a great weekend. And as always, a tout à l'heure.